Hi, I'm Josh Weston, and I'm the Pixelsmith. I'm here today in South Carolina at my forge to show you how to forge something that's sort of a rite of passage as a low country blacksmith. Now, I learned to forge this years ago from a little class that I was taught at the Philip Simmons Artist Blacksmith Guild. And this is an Oyster Shucker that is based off an old Civil War era shucker that has a sort of screwdriver type spoon shucker portion and then a long shaft. This is then curled around, has a little bit of a thumb grip, but my favorite feature is this right here. This is the beer bottle opening nipple, because nothing goes better with oysters than beer, except for maybe hot sauce. Definitely hot sauce is good. So, let's get started. Let's get that forge lit. So for step number one, pretend this is the anvil, right there, that's the top. We're going to put our bar, we're going to heat up the end, and we're going to put some hammer blows right there to do a half face blow. And what this is going to do is it's going to start to bulge out some of the sides here. Then using the rounded part of our hammer, we're going to hit this until it turns into a circle. And this is where some blacksmith magic comes in, because you think, what? The next thing that I do is I actually set my touch mark. Best time in the process that I've found to place that touch mark on my piece. So I'm just going to line it up right there, and I use a piece of big chunk of brass so that I don't damage my setting tool. The next thing that I do is I will take my end and curl this thumb over. So right here on the horn of the anvil, I'm just gonna hammer down on that, push it over a little bit, take a look from the side and go, do I like that? Do I not like it? And pretty sure I like it. Oh. And now the handle part is done. Now we're going to take that bar and we're going to work the other end. So we have a circle, we have our thumb on this one, and we're going to taper this down into a pyramid. And this is a beginner skill that is really important if you're going to be a blacksmith, to be able to taper to a pyramid. And you just work all four sides. And then once it's a pyramid, we could heat it back up and we can start hitting it. And see what that does is it starts to spread the sides. And then I take and I'll hit all the way down this, and it'll spread out and eventually get this sort of spade type shape at the base. And that will turn into our shucker tip. Now I'm going to work the opposite side, and I'm going to work it slightly over the edge. You'll see that I'll get a little bit of a beard coming down. That's okay, because that is preferred over fish lips, which put a weak spot into your piece. Then just as it stretches, clean it up to the taper. Now, I'm not taking this to a super fine point, and the main reason is I want enough meat there to create a wide enough screwdriver base for the tip of the shucker. I'm just gonna straighten up my bar of steel. And there's my taper. Slamma-jamma time. Dressing the edges. Lock that in the vise. Go a couple inches up the bar. And while it's still hot and you have nice even heat, and the key to getting a nice twist is having nice even heat. This one can be a little bit tricky as a one-man operation, but once you've done it enough times, you start to figure out what you need to do, how you need to hold your hammer, and how to get that bottle opener in there just right. And I like to make sure mine are open at least a little bit right there so that you can slide them into your jeans pocket for easy access and storage. Then after that, we're just gonna wire brush this and clean up the edges on the grinder. Doing the final grind on these, it's important to not actually sharpen them. You don't want to be cutting the people open that are using the shucker. So I typically will round the tip, and then I also make sure that I can run my fingers along the blade without digging in or cutting myself. And then I also like to finish rounding out and smooth off any inconsistencies there. So once again, we're going to want to get that fire lit. time what we're doing, we're not going to red hot. We just want to get the color on the piece up to around a blue. You can see some of the colors there. If you look at the tip, you can see the blues starting to hit it. So we've come to the end of our time together today, and all we have to show for is this beautiful chucked out shucker. And it's awesome, and it's gonna shuck lots of oysters this fall. And if you are in the low country anytime, in a month that ends in R typically is what they say, it's oyster season, and you can have nice, fresh, local, Charleston, low country area oysters. They're delicious. Get out, get some oysters. If you have a forge and you haven't made an oyster shucker, give it a try. It's a lot of fun. I think you'll enjoy it. I enjoy it. And also, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button. It's gonna help me be able to make more videos like this in the future. Thanks again.